Hey, Cena, how are you? I think 14. We got 14. All right, it's about 3 minutes to 10. If council will begin to take their seats, we'll get started as promptly as we can. Although it's a straightforward agenda, comprehensive budget is fairly expanded, though it's a clean, clear, comprehensive budget that is very readable and user-friendly. You can't hear me? Wow. I guess you turn it up. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to be. Hey, all right, good to see you.
Ooh, I like them quorum.
All right, about 1 minute till. Council start taking their seats. We appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, it's right at 10 o'clock. I want to take this time to call this special call General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma on this 22nd day of July 2023, and I asked the Secretary to give us a roll call.
Leetta Simpson. Anthony Comley.
Here.
John Narkemy. Rena Tiger. Anastasia Pittman.
Here.
Terry Edwards.
Here.
Ida Gonzalez. Nancy Fixico.
Here again. Here.
Tammy Downey.
Chair, we've received a resignation notice from Ms. Downey, and I'd like to go ahead and declare a vacancy for such a band.
Yes, would you encourage Ms. Downey also to send that to the chairman of the General Council as well?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Representative.
Leon Petit.
Here.
Joseph Billy.
Here.
Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Here.
Ann Borba,
Here.
Stephanie Lambert,
Here.
Sina Yeslith,
Here.
Lottie Cootie, Marilyn Moore, Henson Lena,
Here.
David Frank,
Here.
Wayne Shaw,
Here.
Tiffany Thunder, Catherine McCoy,
Here.
Charlie Hill,
Here.
Tommy Chupko,
Here.
Danita Harjo,
Here.
Willis Dethridge,
Present.
Desiree Emerton,
Here.
I have 23 present.
You already called her name, but you can acknowledge her from this time forward, okay? It's 23,
23 present and 4 absent.
okay. Okay, with 23 present at roll call and 4 that did not answer roll call, but 2 of them have just entered the council floor, and that's Representative Narcomi and Representative Pittman. Okay, 23 and 4, I declare that we do have a quorum, and I'm going to ask Mr. Edwards if he would offer the prayer this morning.
We give thanks for this day, for you allowing us to wake, dear Lord, for looking over our family members and allowing them to wake, dear Lord. We want to approach your throne of grace, dear Lord, that we may ask that we may see your mercy, dear Lord. We pray that all the things that we say and do here today will be favorable and pleasing in your eyes, dear Lord, that you would bless each and every one of us. In Jesus Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We're at the top of the agenda, and I entertain to add other business at the end of new business. And you have resolution 50 and 51, which are appointments to the SNGE board. So I entertain a motion to that. Is there any objections to other business being added to the agenda? If there's no objections, then resolution 50, 51, and 52 will be added at the end of new business. Okay, reading of the minutes of the last meeting. I entertain a motion. You have had those minutes. I entertain a motion to approve as written. Motion approved by Representative Gonzalez, seconded by Representative Fulbright. Any corrections at this time? Representative McCoy.
Yes, I notified the council secretary that my name was misspelled throughout the document.
Okay, I think she corrected that from this time forward. Okay. Any others? Representative Petit.
Unfortunately, I didn't bring my notes with me, but one of the paragraphs, I think it's on the 3rd page, I know she meant permitted or something was the word, and she just kind of got it backwards on that. She might just take a look at it and correct it. Just a spelling error, but it was 2 different words we put on there.
Okay, that will be noted. So with those 2 areas noted by council representatives, does the motion to approve and the second accept those 2 corrections with your motion? As amended, okay. Representative Sampson also just entered the floor. Okay, motion and a second to approve the minutes with those two corrections. Secretary?
Leetta Sampson,
Yes.
Anthony Conley,
Yes.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
Yes.
Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Nancy Fixico, Leon Petit,
Yes.
Joseph Billy, Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright, Ann Borba,
Yes.
Stephanie Lambert,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
Yes.
Marilyn Moore, Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder, Wayne Shaw,
Yes.
Catherine McCoy,
Yes.
Charlie Hill,
Yes.
Tommy Chupko,
Yes.
Danita Harjo,
Yes.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton.
Yes.
I have 25 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstain.
With a count of 25 yes, 0 no's, 0 abstentions, I declare that the minutes as amended has passed. We have no unfinished business at this time. We have no reports of committees at this time, but it was requested because of the extent of the Senate going into session, specifically for Indian country on the tobacco compacts on Monday. It was requested that a brief report be given by the Attorney General. Is there any objections to a brief report at this time by the Attorney General on those issues facing Indian country? There's no objections, Attorney General?
On Monday morning, the Senate will vote to override the governor's veto on the tobacco compact, and it's critical if everyone who could contact your senators or any that you know. What happened last time they voted, they were 1 vote short of overriding the governor's veto. Where we are now, I don't know if what you've heard in the news or if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them later. But the governor, the governor has offered a compact to 15 expiring tribes. We were not offered that compact, and it's just the 1-year extension. And there's some, he's put some additional language in his compact or his offer that has to do with Indian country. He wants us to not be able to use our entire McGirt reservation, at least for the 5 tribes and the tribes up in the corner that have their McGirt reservation. So all the tribes are still holding together. There is information out in the news about the Chickasaw negotiating with the governor. They've told us that they feel like it's their obligation if the governor reaches out, that they talk and that they negotiate, but they have no intention of taking the compact that's being circulated, which is not just the renewal that they're circulating to everyone else. So under the governor's plan, only the tribes that have their compact expiring the end of this year would be offered his renewal. Under the legislature's plan, everyone else who had a compact will be back into compact. And whether we want to stay in compact or not, and BCR could comment, getting back in the compact for 1 more year gives us a lot of money and a little bit of running room to decide what we're going to do next. So that's why that is critical. So if you could reach out to anybody over the weekend and make sure they vote yes on Monday, everyone would really appreciate it. And all of the tribes, even the small tribes, we're all still sticking together like we did during the gaming compact. So
Okay, thank you for that report. We're under new business at this time. We have TR 2023-42. Someone from the BCR Commission, perhaps Mr. Dethridge.
Nico, I've been asked by the BCR Commission to sponsor this legislation, a tribal resolution in the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, authorizing the completion and submission of a fee-to-trust application for certain tribally owned land. And basically what we're talking about is the Phillips property.
You make a motion to that effect?
Yes, sir, I make that motion.
Is there a second? There's a second, Representative Lambert. Any questions or comments, discussion? Representative Shaw, and then Representative Dethridge.
On this resolution, I don't have a problem with it, but the thing is, it doesn't say how many acres we're asking to put in. It's got different parcels, and it doesn't say on every parcel of land that we've ever put in trust in the past, or any lands that we have, are recorded with how many acres more or less, like 300 acres more or less. This doesn't show that, so we don't know exactly how much we're attempting to put. I know how much it is, but a lot of people don't know how many acres we're trying to put into trust because it doesn't show it in the resolution.
If we want to add that language, I think probably with the actual application, we do have a different form and process that we're utilizing right now. But I have seen where the acreage, amount of acreage is sometimes in there. There's 313 acres, we know that. Representative Dethridge?
Does he yield the floor?
Yes, he has.
In regards to Mr. Shaw's concerns, I've asked our land research person to be here, and hopefully she's got something we can put on the board that shows the Phillips property, all of the area, that kind of thing.
Does IT have that ready to show the imagery of the proposed legislation?
Chief, could you have him to speak up? We can't hear him back here.
Okay, you may have to turn up the mics when the representatives speak as well. Yes, I'm going to have land research come and just kind of elaborate a little bit on this map.
Can you hear me? Okay. So Exhibit A, and it was included, right, in there? Okay. So Exhibit A should have been attached. You should see in Exhibit A, that's the full entire legal description. So that's all 300 plus acres that we're applying into the fee to trust process. The less and accepts may be confusing to those not familiar with lengthy meets and bounds descriptions. However, those are all of the small parcels around the exterior of our big parcel that are houses and home sites, and all of the people that live along the Highway 9 or Wrangler Boulevard, all of the people that live along Highway 3, like headed north toward Shawnee, those are all those less and accepts, those small parcels that they own. That's all that is. But yeah, we're applying for the entire property.
Can you show us that red line? Because I can't hardly see that red line from that picture that's drawn right there. How that actually lays out, where that Phillips property actually is.
You mean to be Vanna White up here?
Yeah, like you just go up there and use your
Okay.
finger and draw a picture.
At the top. Can you read the print?
I volunteered to make printouts for the record for everyone. But, so the lesson accepts that you'll see are gonna be these small, like this church situation, these dorms that Seminole State College still owns, and all the properties to the west here along the highway. The exterior boundary of our property is going to be here. It abuts this portion of Highway 3 and then all of the Highway 9 here. This is 737 Duck Call. The proposed transportation facility, the 3 acres you guys granted them permission to utilize, is directly behind or north of 737. And then our boundary heads to the north and then to the east, behind the Children's Museum, OG&E, and then we head north along Ideal Street all the way until there's a small, I think 1 or 2 acre parcel owned by the Knowles family. But and then all the way to Good Hope Road. Good Hope Road is essentially like a portion of our north boundary, or east-west 121. And then we come back south, and then I think we have some neighbors to our north, Swearingens and a few others. But if you can, it's kind of, I can't reach that far, I'm not tall enough. Then we come back down. But it's a sizable portion of land within city limits.
313 acres, as well as we already have reached out to NRCS to do a fencing on where the hay meadow usually is, directly behind the Children's Museum along that creek. So we'll have a new fence going across that area too. So if agriculture is later done on that, cattle, whatever, then it could possibly, it'll be ready. It's already fairly equipped right now, that just keep the cattle from going down into that creek. Okay.
One other question.
Representative Deathridge, I just also want to make this clear. We're going to try to practice as we can. You know the rules of order. You speak twice on an issue. The second time, you're limited to 2 minutes. That's the rules of order of Title 16 of the Code of Laws of the Seminole Nation. Representative Deathridge.
Yes, sir. On the second page, where the whereas is, this property is the purpose of economic development and governmental use, and the land will not change. So that means that there's going to be no gaming facilities, or in the future, will there be a possibility of establishing a casino in that area somewhere?
No, usually when you apply for trust, you got to make that very clear that your application is for gaming. It takes a lot longer to get it to be placed in trust. We're fortunate at this time. We will be bringing a lot of areas of the Seminole Nation that we have in fee and bringing it to this council to be able to be placed in trust. There is what we call a streamlined format that the Bureau of Indian Affairs is using at this time, and a lot of it's done at the local area. When I say local, I mean the Muskogee area. So it should go through a lot quicker and a lot faster than it has in previous years. So we're looking forward to that. We'll most likely bring that 29 acres on 99 in the next, probably at quarterly meeting. Okay, Representative PT.
Yes, Chair. I just had a question. Now, whenever they place this land into trust, my understanding has been that as long as it's not being held as collateral or a note lien attached to it, is that correct? Has to be free and clear?
Well, actually, the way that we obtained that property, it could have actually been brought to this point already because the collateral was not the land, remember? And that was taken care of a meeting or so ago. So yes, it's fair. It's definitely clear, and we look forward to that becoming trust land.
Okay, well, I think we've cleared that up, and I want to
Yes.
thank Representative Shaw for at least bringing that to the nation so that we could cash those CDs in and pay that land off. And your office is for getting that done as speedy as we could. I know that the nation has other properties that are financed around, you know, some of this property down south and different areas.
And we're finding ways.
Until those are cleared, free and clear, then they can't be applied for being put into trust. Is
No,
that correct?
actually, the land that's south of the mission, which is a total of close to 1,300 acres, the land is not held as collateral as well. So that can actually be, the process can start. We're down on that as far as the amount that we owe. So in the next few months, as we bring in measures, it's very possible that we can reduce what most people would call debt or debt to ratio, which is going to be, I believe, if the council moves in a certain direction, we'll be down to about $500,000 in the near future. Maybe by the first of the year. We'll see. You know, we do have some measures that could possibly do that. Okay. Okay, if there's no other questions for discussion, Secretary, call the roll. This is TR 2023-42, and this is a submission from fee to trust for the Phillips property.
Deanna Simpson,
Yes.
Anthony Conley,
Yes.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
Yes.
Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Nancy Fixico,
Yes.
Leon Petit,
Yes.
Joseph Billy, Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Stephanie Lambert,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie, Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder, Wayne Shaw,
Yes.
Catherine McCoy,
Yes.
Charlie Hill,
Yes.
Tommy Chupko,
Yes.
Danita Harjo,
Yes.
Willis Dethridge, Desiree Emerton.
Yes.
I have 23 yeses, 2 noes, 0 abstain.
With a count of 23 yes, 2 noes, and 0 abstentions, I declare TR 2023-42 to have passed. And just a note here, a little bit after, Representative Shaw sponsored to pay off the Phillips property, it was probably the week after that, 10 days, that we received notice that we received $6.5 million for the maintenance facility that was proposed before this council. So that will help create the road network at that corner property as well as build that facility. And so it's on the, that was great news for us because we had planned and hoped that we would get that when we presented it to council. There was a good chance we would, and we did. So that's just a note for that. Okay, TR 2023-43. Representative Gonzalez.
Tribal Resolution 2023-43, Tribal Resolution of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma, approving a one-time appropriation for $114,005.52 from the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 funds to the Potable Water Program. I make a motion to approve. Ask for a second.
Motion to approve, second by Representative Pittman. Just for clarity, this is not coming from the American Rescue Plan Act that the Seminole Nation received, but these are additional funds that we were informed we would be receiving for this particular purpose. And so it's not coming from what we normally appropriate, but it has to say the American Rescue Plan Act of 221 because it comes from that. It comes from the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Representative Petit.
Yes, could we clarify to the people that this is not money just to pay your water bill, it's to keep it from being turned off, if that was correct, the language included?
Actually, the resolution is framed that we can take care of emergency type situations. Whenever we have a local community within the exterior boundaries of our reservation, and we need to have a water buffalo or something like that out there, or ask for showers or something, a trailer to be set up, if it's going to be long term, we have to always reach out and ask of other folks' equipment. So this is possible that we could do some water buffaloes that could be at each community, ushered out to wherever the problem with water is. Bottled water, sometimes we have to take bottled water, sometimes to Cornwall in recent history, and although that's better now, Sasakwa in recent history, although that's better now because we took initiatives to also address those issues at a larger level, so they're not having as much water issues as they have had. But in the past, you know what those were. And with the water issues going across the country and the world, we're glad to get this small pot of money for potable water, and we hope to be able to make an impact here in the Seminole Nation with it to a certain extent. Representative Dethridge.
Nico, would you define water buffalo? Because my brain is slipping on some animal. I don't know what that is.
Well, what you do is you go get a buffalo out of somebody's pasture and make sure he drinks real good. No, I'm just kidding. No, actually, they're tanks that are on wheels that can be potable water can be placed in there and take to the place who's facing their water problem, their crises. Representative Shaw.
It was stated in our ban that this potable water deal will also help assist somebody in paying their water bills in case of cutoff. It was mentioned in my ban that instead of, because somebody don't want to pay their water bill, that they just quit paying it to make us pay for it. But there needs to be a what they call a limit of how much we can pay, and it's a one-time deal if somebody should come in. It's not for the whole nation to quit paying their water bills in town and have us pay for them. So,
in actuality, we do have other programs that kind of meet those needs. We do not have a program that meets the need that we just explained a little earlier. But normally, when you're facing an issue with water, it's something that's not of your own doing, like maybe a disaster, or perhaps, the main water line was cut off, or problems of that nature. Not necessarily because you did not pay your water bill. But could it be used? Yeah, portions of it could possibly be used for that. There's no other discussion. No other discussion. Secretary, call the roll. This is for TR 2023-43.
Leetta Simpson,
No.
Anthony Conley,
No.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
Yes.
Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Nancy Fixico,
Yes.
Leon Petit,
Yes.
Joseph Billy,
yes.
Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Stephanie Lambert,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
Yes.
Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder, Wayne Shaw,
Yes.
Catherine McCoy,
Yes.
Charlie Hill,
Yes.
Tommy Chupko,
Yes.
Danita Harjo,
Yes.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton.
Yes.
I have 23 yeses, 2 noes, 0 abstain.
With a count of 23 yes, 2 noes, and 0 abstentions, I declare TR 2023-43 to have passed. And just for clarification on the issue of water, when we go extend our help to a community, if it's Sasakwa, that's for the community of Sasakwa. If it's for the community of Conwall, it's for the community of Conwall. We don't differentiate. So these water buffaloes will go to the community if it's other areas that are addressed and they say we need water here. Seminole Nation will be coming. We will. So Just a clarification on that, because sometimes people think that we differentiate in that particular area when it pertains to water, at least drinking potable water. TR 2023-44, a tribal resolution of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving the intergovernmental cooperative detention facility agreement by and between the Board of the County Commissioners of Offusky County and on behalf of Offusky County Sheriff's Office and the Seminole Nation. I entertain a motion to that effect. A motion by Representative Lambert, second by Representative Petit. We're in discussion. Any discussion, comments? This is basically a renewal. There is a slight increase, a $4 increase a day per incarcerate, from 31 to 35, I believe. Is that correct, Chief Coker? Okay. No discussion. This is TR 2023-44. Secretary, call the roll.
Leetta Simpson,
Yes.
Anthony Conley,
Yes.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
Yes.
Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Nancy Fixico,
Yes.
Leon Petit,
Yes.
Joseph Billy, Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Stephanie Lambert,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
Yes.
Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder, Wayne Shaw,
Yes.
Catherine McCoy,
Yes.
Charlie Hill,
Yes.
Tommy Chupko,
Yes.
Danita Harjo,
Yes.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton.
Yes.
I have 25 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstain.
With a count of 25 yes, 0 noes, 0 abstentions, I declare TR 2023-44 to have passed. TR 2023-45, Representative Gonzalez.
So they needed a remodification.
Tribal resolution of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving a second modification of the FY 2023 Law Enforcement and Tribal Court BIA ATG budget and modification of the fiscal year 2023 comprehensive budget from the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 funds. I make a motion to approve and ask for a second.
Second.
Motion approved by Representative Gonzalez, second by Representative Pittman. We're in discussion. Remember, these are also new funds that have also came in. That's why they must be added to the comprehensive budget of 2023. Representative Shaw.
I was asked, how do we fund this program after ARPA runs out a year from December? Because this is 2 added positions or several added positions under ARPA. Whose pocket is it going to come out after that? That's what they're asking. We're going to end up having to pick it up, and we need to be looking ahead to see how we're going to fund that a year and a half from now.
Yes, we are, meeting together to discuss those things. I will say that the Executive Office has negotiated with the Assistant Secretary of Indian Affairs of the United States, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, for additional funds post-McGirt. We received some of those funds as well. So that's reoccurring funds. So we have secured somewhat about $1.1 million to continue with both law enforcement and the courts in that area. There is some legislation that we hope that is passed in DC that will actually give us an increase of all the tribes that are affected by McGirt, well, actually enhanced by McGirt. The number that is being discussed for the Seminole Nation is about 5 million. So we hope that if that legislation passes, you know, in Washington DC, and Mr. Cole from on top of the hill, who's a Chickasaw tribal citizen, he's pushing for that, and hopefully that gets secured, and that's going to solve a lot of the concerns of the Seminole Nation when it comes to tribal courts and the law enforcement.
You know, if law enforcement or the executive office would explain something like that, it would made it a lot easier to vote yes or no on this. But
I think we went over that at Banshee's meeting, and representatives.
At Banshee's meeting, but, you know, how many in here were at the Banshee's meeting?
I believe that you were there.
I was there. I'm not going to deny that, but I'm just saying, how many of them were there? I didn't get to go. I didn't talk to each individual here about this right here because I was gathering information for my band, and that's what everybody else should have been doing. But the thing is, that question came up. You told me, I tried to explain it. They said there should have been an explanation attached to it, so we'd know where we're coming from next time. I think it's for.
Okay, we're on TR 2023-45. Any other discussion? If there's no other discussion, TR 2023-45. Secretary, call the roll.
Leetta Simpson,
Yes.
Anthony Conley,
Yes.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
Yes.
Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Nancy Fixico,
Yes.
Leon Petit,
Yes.
Joseph Billy, Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Stephanie Lambert,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
Yes.
Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Wayne Shaw,
Yes.
Catherine McCoy,
Yes.
Charlie Hill,
Yes.
Tommy Chupko,
Yes.
Danita Harjo,
Yes.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton.
Yes.
I have 23 yeses, 2 noes, 0 abstain.
With a count of 23 yes, 2 noes, and 0 abstentions, I declare TR 2023-45 to have passed. TR 2023-46, Representative Gonzalez.
A tribal resolution of the General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving the budget modification of the Early Head Start 2023 budget for cost of living adjustment and quality improvement grant. I make a motion to approve and ask for a second.
Second.
There's a motion approved by Representative Gonzalez, seconded by Representative Borba. We are in discussion, and this is basically funds that come from the federal government for this cost of living increase and adjustment. And we do have the director here, who is Ms. Horton. But is there any questions on this? This is something that comes down from time to time from the funding agencies. Representative Petit, then Representative Shaw.
I think this is similar to the question that Representative Shaw asked on the previous resolution as far as future funding. Once we've instituted this pay raise to these people, is there a way that maybe in the resolution we can put wording where it sunsets in the event that we don't receive additional funding next year?
Would you come up, Ms. Horton? I think this is an annual, it continues on. And anytime it is added on every succeeding year until they give another increase at the federal level. So it's added on to the overall receiving of those particular grant funds for that program. Ms. Horton's here. You can introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Robin Horton. What was the question?
Okay. Some in our band questioned whether or not, in the event that we do give this cost of living increase now, which is what, 6 or 8%, 8% I believe, that in the future, next year, if these funds aren't received from the federal government, are we stuck at this particular rate of pay for these individuals?
Once we complete the grant, that money is given to us yearly. I'm not sure if that grant will be available next year, and if it is, it could only be like a 2.3%, and it could be years before another one's available.
Well, I think that was our question on the resolution. It didn't have anything about, you know, that I always called it a sunset clause, where if the funding's not available next time, then that goes retroactive back to the pay that we paid them previously. Then, if we want to go ahead and give them a 3% raise like we do normally, then we can include that amount in that money's then. That was our concern, was we wanted more specific language in there to tell, even to let those people that are affected. I have no problem at all with them getting more money, but I just want to make sure that it doesn't affect the nation financially, that we raise that amount and in the future date not have that fund available to keep paying that similar, you know, whatever that rate is.
It comes strictly from the Office of Head Start.
Okay, do we have a travel match on this?
No, sir, not on this one.
Not on this one?
No.
Okay, now, we didn't know who to ask about this one. It says ask about monies allocated to schools in the county. Approximately, the word came to us, there's $90,000 to schools. Are all the schools gonna get that, or is it just certain schools?
Wrong program.
Huh?
Wrong program. They'll be up here pretty soon.
Okay, well, see, I didn't know who to ask on that.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is, where's the indirect cost? There's no indirect cost allocated in here.
Correct. We were able to go in for 0% on this one.
Now, most people know historically that certain programs do not go with the full indirect cost, you know, whatever that rate may be for any given year. Certain types of programs like housing, in this case, their program, indirect cost is not gained from it. But those are by federal standards and not, you know, of our own choosing.
You know, I applaud you for your answer, but I think we were talking to this lady here, and I wanted her to answer that. But since it's already been answered, I'll yield the floor.
No further discussion. We're on TR 2023-46. No further discussion. Secretary, call the roll.
Leetta Sampson,
Yes.
Anthony Conley,
Yes.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
Yes.
Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Nancy Fixico,
Yes.
Leon Petit,
Yes.
Joseph Billy,
Yes.
Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Stephanie Lambert,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
Yes.
Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Wayne Shaw,
No?
Catherine McCoy,
Yes.
Charlie Hill,
Yes.
Tommy Chupko,
Yes.
Danita Harjo,
Yes.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton,
Yes.
I have 26 yeses, 1 no, 0 abstain.
With a count of 26 yes and 1 no and 0 abstentions, I declare TR 2023-46 to have passed. We are now on TR 2023-47. Finance Committee, introduced by Representative Pittman or Gonzalez, either one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Tribal resolution of the General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving the budget modification and the call. Did we switch this? Okay. And approving the budget modification of Head Start 2023 budget for cost of living adjustments and quality improvement grant. I move adoption and ask for a second.
Okay, there's a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Representative Gonzalez, and Ms. Horton will explain if there's a little bit of confusion on it. It is for separate areas of Head Start, okay? But go ahead and explain that.
The first resolution was for the Early Head Start program, and the second one is for the Head Start. We have to do grants for Early Head Start and Head Start.
Can you tell us the difference between the two so that they know why we had to separate them?
Well, on the Early Head Start, we have to, those for the kids from 6 weeks to 3 years. Head Start is 3 to 5.
Any other questions, discussion? Representative Dethridge.
On the Head Start program, how many kids do you service? Is there a waiting list to get your child in a Head Start, or?
We have 123 slots for Head Start.
123?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Can you get more? I mean, or is that full capacity?
That's full capacity.
So there's basically a waiting list or something?
We currently are not full. We need some kiddos to come and enroll.
So you're not at full capacity?
It's summertime, so Head Start's closed. We only have EHS opened all summer.
Yes, there's room for other students, but it's closed as far as the facilities that's open. When the Wewoka facility is totally complete and the new child care center is also built, the capacity of the Wewoka Head Start Barking Waters will also increase. And the same thing with Conowall. When Conowall's child center is built, and hopefully that we can open that up, by the middle part of next year, maybe going into September, then the Head Start facility will actually be able to take more people. So that's what you want to do, is build your capacity, give people opportunity to have their kids in tribal child care and Head Start. Any more questions, discussion? If there's no more discussion on this item, we are on TR 2023-47. Secretary, call the roll.
Chair. On the last count, it should be 24, 1, 0. Okay.
Okay. Correction to the count on the last resolution, which is TR 2023-46. I believe you said 24, 1, and 0 abstentions. So that's a correction right now. So that's the, I think we read 26, 1, and 0. So it's 24, 1, and 0. Okay? Now we're on, of course, we got a motion and a second for TR 2023-47. Secretary, call the roll.
Leetta Sampson,
Yes.
Anthony Conley,
Yes.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
Yes.
Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Nancy Fixico,
Yes.
Tamara Leon Petit,
Yes.
Joseph Billy, Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Stephanie Lambert,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
Yes.
Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder, Wayne Shaw,
No.
Catherine McCoy,
Yes.
Charlie Hill,
Yes.
Tommy Chupko,
Yes.
Danita Harjo,
Yes.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton.
Yes.
I have 24 yeses, 1 no, 0 abstain.
With a count of 24 yes, 1 no, and 0 abstentions, I declare TR 2023-47 to have passed. Since there was a question on enrollment, I know when this administration first come in, we had to deal with the federal agency. There was a chance of reduction in funds. We have worked diligently with the two different, actually, directors. Robin came after Miss Meredith had left us, but they both, contributed to us being able to bring up the numbers somewhat. We will continue to bring those numbers up. We will continue to bring those. Representative Shaw?
You said I asked a question to the wrong program. Who do I ask it of that 90,000?
Child care.
Child care? Okay, so I'll wait till child care, or till we get to this regular budget and ask child care, is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
Or can I call child care up there now?
Well, we don't have a motion on the floor just yet.
You don't have to have a motion on the floor to call somebody to the floor.
Well, when we get into discussion on the comprehensive budget, then every program can be called accordingly. TR 2023-48. Representative Pittman?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A tribal resolution for the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving the fiscal year of 2024 proposed comprehensive budget and providing for appropriations. I move adoption, and I ask for a second.
Second.
There's a motion to approve. Who seconded that? Who seconded that motion? Oh, Representative Gonzalez. Okay, we have a motion and a second. We are now on the comprehensive budget of 2024, and it's at the discretion of the council within that comprehensive budget who to call up at this time if you have a question for that particular department or program. Representative Shaw.
Since I've already asked, I want to ask for, who did you say that was?
Child care?
Child care, step up for that.
Okay. Would you provide her a microphone, please? Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Yes, all the public schools did get a grant, mini grant from the child care program when our regional office came down to visit with us. This is their suggestion that we help out the community, and they suggested to give funds to the public school. Yes, we did give all public schools in Seminole County funds to operate. We also gave 15% in the grant to go for JOM so that it would help with our Indian students. And some schools got 90,000, some schools got 80,000. The ones that got 80,000 was because they did not have either summer school or before aftercare school. So yes, all the public schools in Seminole County received funds.
May I ask why that was not passed through this general council? I have no problem with it, but I just want to know why it wasn't passed through this council.
I guess the only reason why it wasn't passed to our council is because it was our regional office that was telling us that we had to get these funds spent and that we had to get this money obligated ASAP.
But our Constitution says all budgets will be prepared through this general council. So you just wrote my Constitution?
Well, no, I think that
There was
one
legislation that passed the amounts.
And it also mentioned in there about school mini grants. And it was already passed through the general council before our regional office came down.
Yes, so it was seen by the general council. She's a little nervous, as I can tell.
Yeah, I think so.
I can tell in your voice. You're usually not that
Sorry.
way.
Cut both y'all's feet off, y'all still dancing, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Yes.
Real quickly, this actually for Mako. When did that resolution come through the council?
It's
Was
probably,
that the June quarterly or?
no, it was a while back. I want you to know that since questions are being asked about this particular program, when we came into office, we were just up against it because folks wasn't taking care of business. We tended to lose possibly up to millions of dollars in the child care program. We worked with the federal agencies to not do that, and we're on the road to total recovery at this time. But we can get you that information. I can't tell you at the top of my head right now. We can get you that information, but I can't tell you and recall at the top of my head right now where that's at.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
Okay,
Any other questions?
we're on the comprehensive budget. Anything else for childcare while she's up here?
Not for childcare.
Not for childcare. Okay, thank you, Ms. Posto. We're on the comprehensive budgets. It's a
Is there-
broad budget.
Is there a representative from SINDOC here?
Is there a representative from SINDOC here? SINDOC, Department of Commerce. Okay. Anyone else?
I've
You still have the floor, Representative Dethridge.
I still got a question about SINDOC. Let me thumb through this and get back to the back page where SINDOC is located. Got to find it right fast.
Y'all remember when we used to carry around several of those 3-ring binders
Oh,
before
Lord,
digitization? Wow.
Sending agency. Executive Department, VCR, Judgment Fund, Division of Commerce. That's in section 15D. Got a question about something in fine print.
I hope I can answer it. Well, we have the budget officer, because SINDOC would have discussed this.
We
with-
got somebody from SINDOC?
We have the budget officer here,
That works for me.
yeah. Marcia, can you come up?
Looks like Marcia Billy, is that who that is? Okay. And you're the budget officer for SINDOC?
No.
With the Seminole Nation.
Yeah.
But she sees.
Nobody from SINDOC is here though, right?
No.
Okay.
I called them out. Is there anyone here from SINDOC? Division of Commerce.
Okay, this is my concern that I got, Marcia, Miss Billy, excuse me. On page 4 of the SINDOC's budget, there's it says, compliance with law, the SNDOC board respectfully requests from the general counsel through this annual plan of operation authorizing to retain net profits from all activities. That was included last year, and I talked to Mr. Getz about it, and it almost made it sound as if we really don't even want to give you $50,000. And so he, I think, in front of everybody, he said, we'll strike that out. Now, they're not here, so my question is, this verbiage is in the FY24 budget, again, same verbiage as last year. So can you tell me, is there something going on right here that SINDOC is trying to get out of paying, I don't even call it their fair share because it's $50,000, and I don't know what SINDOC does, and I don't think there's anybody in this room can tell me what SINDOC does. So I'm wondering about this verbiage here. Do we need to strike this verbiage out of the FY24 budget in order so we could pass this budget. You want to see what it says again?
I believe when the certified revenue report comes out from every revenue producing entity, then when they place that's their projections to be able to give to the nation for the comprehensive budget, they normally really do reach those things. But this is basically saying we're not going to make much more than what we said we're going to try to give in the certified revenue report. I think you're safe to have it in there. It's the prerogative of the general counsel if they want to strike it. You still have the floor. I have another hand.
I would like for this verbiage to be stricken.
Is that a friendly amendment to that portion of the budget?
Absolutely it is. Not very friendly, but yes, it is a friendly amendment.
Because there is a motion and a second for the comprehensive budget. Does the motion and the second for the comprehensive budget accept that friendly amendment to this portion of the comprehensive budget?
Chair, can I ask for clarification exactly which verbiage we're going to?
You might have to.
The verbiage reads, the SNDOC, the Syndoc Board, respectfully request from the General Counsel through this annual plan of operation authorization to retain net profit from all activities. That means it sounds to me as if, hey, we want to keep all the money that we make. We don't want to give it any of that money to the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. I don't know what this verbiage means, but when I asked about it last year, Mr. Getz said, yeah, we can strike that out. So, it's here again, and so I don't know what that verbiage means, but we struck it out last year, so I'm still concerned about this verbiage. I don't want somebody to say, hey, y'all voted for it. The vote was 25-0. That's all I'm saying. I'm scared of this verbiage. And if nobody here, I know this. I seen the General Counsel Secretary put out an email a day or so ago. I know there's people that already had plans to do something, and they didn't receive confirmation that an email from our secretary that they needed to be in attendance today. They canceled some plans. They moved some things around, and I don't know why we can't get somebody from Syndoc here, because I'm certain that they probably got that email a couple of days ago.
Okay.
That's it.
What is your move, Representative District? You're asking for a friendly amendment to that portion of that budget, of the comprehensive budget?
Yes, I am.
Is it accepted by the original motion and of the motion to approve the comprehensive budget of 2024 in this particular area of the budget? The two that made the motion.
That particular verbiage has always been in the budgets throughout the years. So I would say no.
For me.
Okay.
Get in trouble, get in trouble. I don't care. I do care. I really do care.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get any more trouble than what, 0 of 0 is still 0, you know, when they're receiving funds. But they did say they was going to give us 50,000, but we can take that to a vote, Representative Detheridge.
No, it's quite all right. That's okay. I won't try that. But now I also got a compliment. I want to say this year's budget, another 400 pages, but it's pretty well put together. I appreciate it immensely. A person can start at the front, look at the context there, and you can work your way through this thing. I worked my way through 400 pages. It took me a day and a half to work my way through 400 pages. So I've read 400 pages. That's like reading Gone with the Wind, I guess. I don't know. Didn't read that neither. But nonetheless, I appreciate our financial people who put this budget together and created this.
What you have is a collaborated effort of all the departments and the programs, the budget officer, fiscal services, and the finance committee. They work diligently and long hours to make this happen, and thank you for that. Representative Shaw.
Mr. Dessers, did you exclude this from this comprehensive budget by motion?
No.
I didn't understand what he asked, so, but you
said-
said the answer is no. Thank you.
Well, I'll clarify it. No, he did not. No, he did not.
Oh, well, that's what I need to find out.
Okay.
Because I was asked these questions at the bench use meeting the other night, so, but I'll bring it up here. Like you said, $50,000 they contribute. We collectively as a nation contribute $1 million to them. And we've no production of any kind coming to us from that area. So we need to be looking at that very closely and maybe talking to our board, getting them to, they've got no businesses coming in. For what reason? They've had 7 years, nothing's happened. Okay, now, that comprehensive budget there, well, am I mistaken? You said we got that insurance money in for that hoop house or greenhouse out there at Seminole?
Because that's germane to CINDOG. CINDOG did take that, even though
They took it, yes, they took it. But this council did not give it to them, I don't think.
that was under the last administration, and if you remember right, I reminded them how the original grant was submitted. We have a representative right here that helped write that grant. She now sits on the Miccosukee Band.
I agree, that grant came to the Seminole Nation
It's coming
of
back.
Oklahoma.
All right, Wayne. We're going to make it up much better than it ever was at the nation's level.
Well, what I'm getting at, right, I don't care how much better you make it, we're liable if one of them kids walks out there and walks under that falling down hoop house and gets hurt. As soon as they got that insurance money in, they got maintenance. Why didn't they tear that down so it's not a nuisance to look at for me, nor if one of my kids or somebody's kid goes up there, whether Indian, non-Indian, whatever, goes in there and messes up and that hoop house falls on them, we as a nation are liable for that, or CINDOC is. So what are we going to do about that? You know, and then there's $176,000, the question of $176,000 in insurance money that came down that had not been announced to the nation. Where's it at? You explained it the other night and said it was there, and it hasn't been spent. Since that is a nation's grant, why doesn't that money come into our
Representative
coffers?
Shaw, it has been mentioned at this level of the General Council of the Seminole Nation that it was $156,000 insurance, and that they want to hand that back over, of the responsibility of the aquaculture project over to the nation. When that is done and the nation is back with that, we will dismantle that and salvage and recycle what we can from that. And but I do note what you said as far as a possible liability. I'll take that in notation. Representative Hill. Bill, can you hand him that mic? Okay. We got Marcia Billy. She's taking Jerry Springer's position.
Well, they asked.
Hello? What was your question, Charlie?
I haven't asked yet, Bill, but can you hear me okay?
I need to hear the question.
Okay, the question is, Bill, as a director of your department, treasurer, I believe you got 3 or 4 employees working for you, right?
And now, what was that last part before I?
How many employees you got
How many
working
employees
under
do I
you?
have? I have 5.
5?
Yes.
Okay. One received $2.49 pay raise, okay?
Okay, before you go any further, okay, that's on my part. When I went back and reviewed it, I am going to make an adjustment to that. I know which one you're talking about. So we're going to treat everybody the same.
Okay, but I haven't even asked a question yet, okay? You're giving me an answer. Can you allow me to ask the question? That
Okay.
way the council representatives and people are here can hear the question?
Pardon, I can't, what was that question again?
I haven't asked yet. Slow down.
Okay,
You got about 5 employees working for you, okay?
yes,
However, those 5 employees working for you, one person that writes checks out got $2.49 pay raise. One.
Yes.
The second one got 50 cents. The other one got 40 cents, and also the other one, okay? And they're supposed to get pay raise evenly across the board, okay, the line. However, it did not happen that way, and not only that, the person that received the highest amount, you did not approve of it. You didn't even sign off on it. So how did that pass through you, and that person got $2.49 pay raise?
okay. On that part, I had given that, I guess you say, the responsibility to the assistant treasurer, and she went through that, and she was telling me what as far as the job justifications were, and I didn't go any further than that, so I more or less accepted her explanation. But when I went back after that, I noticed that there were some discrepancies. So I made up a chart. In fact, I don't have it, well, I have it with me, but I don't show it. But anyway, I have lowered that back to where all the employees are on an equal basis. So.
Okay, that's a very good answer, but that's what I was leading to, because if this happened and nobody caught it, okay, how many other departments and employees are going to get more pay on a certain employee than the rest of them? We, the Seminole people of the Seminole Nation, we all have to be treated equally and fair, okay?
Right.
That's what I'm getting at. That's the reason why I'm standing up here today. You know, we cannot be overlooking somebody. I mean, let's just be fair. That's all I'm asking. Not for me now, okay? But for our people that are working, and they see it, but they don't like to tell. But when they tell, I get the calls, and that's why I'm asking you. And that's why we need to be a little bit closer and looking over all of our employees when we start making our budgets, how much they get hourly, etc., how many should get a pay raise, etc. That's all I'm asking, okay? Let's treat our people equal and take a closer look at what you're signing and what you're looking at, okay? That's all I'm asking.
Yes, I'm going to do that, Charlie.
Okay, but that's all I ask, okay?
Okay.
I'm not going to wait for you outside now.
All right. So, because since I found that discrepancy, a large discrepancy, I'm going to review be more thorough on all of it. It's going to take a little time when I review a lot of these stuff, but I am going to do that.
Fine, thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Charlie.
Treasurer, I think your words, the words you use, terminologies, discrepancy and that kind of thing, it would be wise to choose proper language whenever you're speaking to this council floor. Discrepancy is not the term to use.
Okay.
Representative McCoy.
Gaming enterprise.
Gaming Enterprise, SNGE. SNGE. Okay, we do have most of our government directors here. No one's answering for SNGE. We do have, under the government of the Seminole Nation, our directors here. Want to call anyone else as opposed to the, as it is acquainted to the comprehensive budget? Representative Petit.
I'm not sure if a caller or not, but on the general counsel's budget there, it lists, or general counsel secretary on that deal. I just had some questions on how we arrived at this $134,000 on this thing. Under contractual services, which I'm sure that pays us under the stipends. You have 8 meetings, 4 which are required by the Constitution, that's quarterly meetings, and then 4 other special called meetings. It's been some in my band's experience, they've been saying that we've held more meetings than we've budgeted for. And they feel like to be good stewards of the nation's money, we need to operate within our budget. And is there anything that we can do to change that so that we can, if we need to raise it because we anticipate more in this coming fiscal year, raise that amount?
We try to anticipate the possible amount of special call meetings that could be called. Sometimes it doesn't always align in that way. And if it looks and appears to be that we're going to need additional funds for the stipends of the general counsel, we'll take an overall look of the budget, and if it's below the 10% margin, then we can do modifications, through the finance committee, or even if it doesn't do with salaries, and it's not really a salary when you're talking about a stipend, it can be adjusted in-house, and that's how we deal with that.
I just think that to
And it's
show
under
them-
Title 14, gives us the authority to do that.
Okay, but I just feel like to show the people of this nation that we can operate within our given budget, that we can always put the budget in now, and if we work within that budget or below it, that's better than going and exceeding that
Yeah,
amount.
we're still
of budget.
operating within the budget that is approved. We're not increasing the budget when we have to do a modification. We're not bringing and asking for more money, in other words. Not to say that one day we won't. Who knows? We may have to. Okay.
Are you?
Okay. Representative McCoy?
So since nobody was here for enterprise, I'm looking
I
at
didn't
my
hear
budget
anyone.
book.
I didn't hear anyone say anything. Do you want to point out something?
Yes, so I guess just put it on the record since no one's here. I want to know who prepares the budget for gaming enterprise. I want to know why there is such a high and low and no raises for these individuals that work. The general manager, who I assume is still an interim, is getting like over an $8 pay raise, and yet there are some on there that are getting a measly 28 cents, if no raise at all. I want to know what the standards are for giving some of these individuals raises, especially those that are in interim positions, getting a raise on top of that, who may not be qualified. So I kind of would like answers. Obviously, I'm not going to get them today, but I need this passed on to somebody who can get me some answers.
Well, the Kevin Durant's of the world, and the who's that quarterback for Dallas? Sometimes it happens that way per tenure or per position. And that's one area sometimes someone gets a little bit more than someone else. I'm not saying that's justification, but sometimes that happens in real world applications. But everyone should, be treated fairly. That's for sure. Just as Representative Hill, made a comment of that earlier. We can ask the Finance Committee. Maybe that question came up at the Finance Committee level.
Okay, let's ask them. Would someone?
Does anyone from the Finance Committee remember when this came before the Finance Committee, what was stated during that time? For the Seminole Nation Gaming Enterprise, she's saying there's some requests for raises, I guess you would call it the upper management level, and then other folks across the board was not given much at all.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The gaming enterprise for the FYI 24 budget was funded by Singa, but it was presented by Robin Miller, and she was a board member at the time. The total amount of funding was $20,907,718, but it was a decrease from last year's budget, and the Finance Committee approved it, but she's not here to explain those adjustments. But
Specifics.
yeah, so I did want to say that we do have.
May I ask the Finance Committee, or Representative Pittman, since she sits on the committee, I don't know what their process is, but when they come and present it at the committee, do you guys not inquire, like, are there any kind of red flags? And I'm not trying to pick on anyone, but let's just go on to that general manager. I know for a fact that's an interim position. That person has not been in that position for an entire year because she got hired or moved into it in October. I've heard she's not qualified, but yet on this sheet I'm looking at, she's getting over an $8 raise. And I don't think that's tenure if you've not even been in position for over a year and you're getting an $8 raise as opposed to some employees, which I don't know, their tenure are not getting a raise or 28 cents possibly. I mean, did you guys not, you maybe overlook it or ask those questions of Robin Miller on some kind of justification why it seems to be such a big gamma from 8.28 to 28 cents to no raise?
Yes, to answer your question, we do kind of review those budgets, but some of the budgets, the funding comes from other places, and there's a sliding scale. We don't know the applications of the scales, but we do ask those questions. But we're submitted a budget, and we have a certain amount of time to approve that budget. This budget was approved during the June 10th meeting, and so when we ask those questions, we want to know the same things you do, but sometimes those who are presenting the budget is only talking to us about the funding and not how long people have been in their positions. We do ask those specific questions about raises, why they are, and they give us their justification, and we either vote it up or vote it down. But as we're trying to help our tribe, we're trying to vote for these increases, but when this particular budget the amount of funding was a decrease from last year's budget, we found justification to approve it, so.
A lot of times what happens, let me explain something. A lot of times what happens when the budget is approved, maybe not in this specific case, but sometimes when a budget is approved for a certain scale or weight scale and step for the overall budget, that doesn't mean that person actually gets that highest rate, you know, at least on our part, on the government side. They may not actually receive that unless it's in that little chart that you have, and that's probably where it's at, that little chart that breaks it down by position, and then it tells you what they're going to get. So that's probably where it's at, where you're pinpointing it on that general manager. Is that correct?
For just sake of time, since I guess Representative Pittman said that Robin Miller presented it and today is her last day per her resignation, then I'm going to request our secretary to reach out to the second person, I guess the only person left on the board right now, Billy Shepard, and I request that he present something in writing to justify these raises. I don't need names and stuff, but I kind of want some kind of justification on explanation on how they came about this. Thank you.
Representative Lambert?
Can I ask for a friendly amendment? Can I ask for a friendly amendment to remove CENDOC and SNGE until they can get a representative here?
There's a motion and a second to approve the comprehensive budget of 24. And does the original motions accept a friendly amendment to exclude at this time until representatives from both of those entities can be before the council to answer questions that's set here?
Mr. Chairman, I accept
Now,
that.
we are presenting a budget earlier than in the past many years, so we're actually on a time. I mean, it's got to be approved by what, October 1? So is it possible to address it, portions of the budget? Yes, it is. So do you accept that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Did you make the motion? Original motion?
I made the original
Okay,
motion.
who was the second on that? Okay, do you accept it as a second? Okay, it's accepted. So the Division of Commerce and the Seminole Nation Gaming Enterprise, their budgets will not be included in this passage today of the comprehensive budget. Okay. So we can go on to someone else.
August 12th, would that be on the 1st of September during our quarterly council, those two departments?
We'll take a look at the pressingness of it. August 12th is fairly full. August 12th could possibly be one of the most monumental meetings that we've had in 23 years on this floor of the General Council. And the agenda for that's fixing to go out. It's going to be consultant, potential management companies. There's 4 of them. It's going to be possible special service agreement with the former Assistant Secretary, Deputy Assistant Secretary of Indian Affairs, Mr. John DeStuda, a Cornell graduate. So these measures are very important. We're going to give enough time for those important issues of the tribe. There will be one more placed on there, and that's going to be the detention center for youth. We have to get that in by a certain period of time. We have to send a letter to them that we're pending the governing body passing legislation. Of course, we want to continue to send juveniles to that detention center because it's the only one around, and that's the Sac and Fox. So we're going to have to include that one at the end of that meeting, okay? Okay. Anyone else you want to see represent?
Hello?
Oh, okay.
Job placement. Job placement. Emma Wesley?
Yes. It's a new approach to getting your budget passed.
That's okay.
Does anyone else have to go back to the office and grab some peanuts or something? I wonder if the chairman of the council gets one of those pretty bags.
Emma Wesley? I didn't get one. Mado?
I thought Marcy was going to get it and take it to your representative. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Can you give that to Representative Fixico, please?
The last one is the best one.
That's our way of saying the best for last. The last one is the best one. All right, she still has a question for your program. You still have to come down. She has a question for job training and placement on the budget. She said, do you refrain from asking that question now?
Good morning. My name is Emma Wesley Harjo. I think most of you know me. I'm the Director for Job Placement and Training.
Emma, I called you up.
Oh.
Okay. Are you still partnering with that one in Shawnee?
With CPN?
Yes.
On occasion, yeah, we're still partnering.
Are there still clients coming over here to see you?
Excuse me?
Do you still have clients coming over here to see you?
At my
That's your job. I know you changed office.
Yes.
And I don't know, do they know are they aware of your change of location?
I put out a notice and everything on when we were moving from the bingo hall. I put out a paper there and I sent a message to the communications department. So as far as I know, and then I have it in the paper I have a forklift training coming up on the 28th, and it's free to anybody. And I have our location there on the ad.
Are you working with Creek Nation where they send them to training? And,
I'm not working for them or
but are you working with them?
If we have, are you talking about the fiber optics program?
Yes.
So if there's a person who wants to go to their fiber optic training in Henrietta, all they have to do is contact Mark Harjo. And I tell them this when they call up. And Mark will schedule what they call a pole climbing, and they have to pass that pole climbing, and once they do, then they can come and put in an application with me, and I'll pay for their tuition. They have housing over there where you can stay over there, so they don't have to drive back and forth, but I'll give them a stipend for being there, because Seminoles, they don't get money like the Muskogees do. They pay their people to go through the training. But all I can do is just pay for their tuition and then give them a stipend.
Okay, great information being exchanged by the both of you, but let's get back to the budget. Representative Fixico, do you have a budget?
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I just had those questions. Somebody asked me. I'm just relaying it to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Representative Fixico. Representative Cootie, then Representative Borba.
I just wanted to commend Emma for helping my grandson. He attended aviation school, and he was a straight A student, also perfect attendant. He graduated on Thursday, so I just want you to know, Emma, he left us and went back to Arizona. So he's got a job interview Monday. So, I mean, programs like that, we have to encourage our children to take part and see, but they also have to put themselves out to carry out what they want. And sometimes it gets hard, and I'm sure there were times he wished maybe he could quit, but he kept on, and he has one son and two stepkids. So he worked hard, and his dream was to go ahead and finish the school so he can get a good job and, you know, support his family. So he finished it with a good grades and good attendance. So thank you, Emma.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yes, my question is, where is your office located, and can you give us the phone number of your office?
The number is still the same. It's 405-234-5288, or you can also call the Tribal Complex at 405-257-7200. And our office is located at the trailer house over there by the BCR and HPO.
Okay, and that's
Okay.
405-234-5388?
Excuse me?
Is that 405-234-5388?
Yes.
Whatever.
Okay, representatives, there is a new directory. If you have questions outside of the budgets, please answer those ask those at a separate time. We have a motion and a second to approve the 24 comprehensive budget with the SINDOC and S&G not included. So please keep your questions toward the comprehensive budget. I know there's wonderful dialogue going on, but if we can keep that, we'll get through this. No other questions for any other programs at department on the comprehensive budget? No other discussion? This is for TR 2023-48, and this is for the approval of the proposed comprehensive budget and providing appropriations. Secretary, call the roll.
Leetta Sampson.
Wow. Yes.
Anthony Conley.
Yes.
John Narkemy.
Yes.
Rena Tiger.
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman.
Yes.
Terry Edwards.
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez.
Yes.
Nancy Fixico,
Yes.
Leon Petit,
No.
Joseph Billy, Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Stephanie Lambert,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
Yes.
Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Wayne Shaw,
No.
Catherine McCoy,
No.
Charlie Hill,
No.
Tommy Chupko,
Yes.
Danita Harjo,
Yes.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton.
Yes.
I have 19 yeses, 6 noes, 0 abstain.
With a count of 19 yes, 6 noes, and 0 abstentions, I declare that TR 2028-48 has passed. I want to take this time for thanking all those who are components, part in putting all the long hours in to put the budgets together, from the Finance Committee to all the directors, to the budget officer, to the executive office, and for you, the council, who are also by constitution a part of the budget preparation. So, and thank you, directors, coordinators, supervisors, for being here today. We know sometimes a weekend is hard to give up, but look at there, you get to enjoy part of the day still. Thank you for coming here today. TR 2023-49.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
ICW, is ICW still here? Okay, all right. Go right ahead, Ms. Pittman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A tribal resolution from the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving the modification of Title 4B, Part 1 Program, Special Revenue Fund Budget and incorporation of SAID budget in the FY23 comprehensive budget and authorizing appropriation. I move adoption and ask for a second.
There's a motion.
Second.
Motion approved. Who said second? Representative Gonzalez. Representative Shaw.
Seems like I'm the only one asking questions, but where's the in-kind contribution going to come from for this program? Because it's not attached. I don't have a problem with it, it's because it's federally funded and everything, but it says 25% matching funds. So where's
Ms.
our
Brown,
25?
can you come down, please?
So where is our 25% matching funds? It should have an attachment here letting us know where we're going to get this money.
The director of the program is coming down to the floor.
I'm Stephanie Haney Brown. I'm the Director of Indian Child Welfare. And on that 25% match funds, it's always been the square footage of our office building as supplied, because we don't pay rent on that square footage. So, and then also the tribe provides us the use of the Attorney General in all of our juvenile deprived cases.
Well, I don't have a problem with that, but if you would give us an attachment explaining that, it says 25% match. And nobody said, where's it coming from? Well, as a steward of the Seminole Nation, I've got to ask that question in order to find out where 25%, you got two bills back to back here. Both of them say 25% match. Then it doesn't show me where the 25 is coming from.
Yes, sir, I agree. It was actually discussed in the Finance Committee meeting, and I thought it was going to be taken care of then, so it was just an oversight.
Ms. Brown, it always is on the part of the director to include anything that might come in conjunction with your budget, so.
So to keep me out of trouble with my band, would you please give me an in-kind, a letter of in-kind contribution on both of these resolutions? Therefore, I can bring it to my band and anybody else that wants to know.
Yes, sir, I can do that.
Thank you.
I want to make a point as well, since there's a motion and a second to approve This was actually a grant that was actually lost for a period of time, and then we recovered it because when we came in, those things that were supposed to be met for this money was not done. I gotta give kudos to Miss Brown for getting this grant done. Seminole Nation now has more money because of submission of that grant. So I want to make that clear. Okay, there's a motion and a second. No further discussion? And there's another one coming up. Would y'all rather do them both at the same time? There's a part 2 and part 1? No? Do them one at a time?
Did someone object?
Okay, this is TR 2023-49. Secretary, call the roll.
Leetta Sampson,
Yes.
Anthony Conley, John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
Yes.
Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Nancy Fixico,
Yes.
Leon Petit,
Yes.
Joseph Billy, Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Stephanie Lambert,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
Yes.
Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Tiffany Thunder, Wayne Shaw,
Yes.
Catherine McCoy,
Yes.
Charlie Hill,
Yes.
Tommy Chupko,
Yes.
Danita Harjo,
Yes.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton.
Yes.
I have 24 yeses, 0 noes, 0 abstain.
24 yes, 0 no, 0 abstention. I declare TR 2023-49 to have passed. TR 2023-50, Representative Gonzalez. TR 2023-50.
Tribal resolution of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma approving the modification of Title 4B, Part 2 Program Special Revenue Fund Budget and incorporation of said budget into the fiscal year 2023 comprehensive budget and authorizing appropriation. I make a motion to approve and ask for a second.
There's a motion to approve, and Representative Petit had his hand up. Is that a second on that? Okay, and there's a second on that, Representative Petit. We're in discussion. No comments and no discussion. TR 2023-50. Secretary, call the roll.
Leetta Simpson,
Yes.
Anthony Conley,
Yes.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
Yes.
Terry Edwards,
Yes.
Ida Gonzalez,
Yes.
Nancy Fixico,
Yes.
Leon Petit,
Yes.
Joseph Billy, Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Stephanie Lambert,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
Yes.
Henson Lena,
Yes.
David Frank,
Yes.
Wayne Shaw,
Yes.
Catherine McCoy,
Yes.
Charlie Hill,
Yes.
Tommy Chupko,
Yes.
Danita Harjo,
Yes.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton.
Yes.
I have 25 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstain.
Would you repeat that, please, Secretary?
I have 25 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstain.
Okay, with a count of 25 yes, 0 no's, and 0 abstentions, I declare TR 2023-50 to have passed. And congratulations, council. And if you, as an employer or a member of a committee, worked on these budgets in any capacity, please stand. We want to applaud you. This is one of the first times in many, many years that we got the comprehensive budget passed in a short time. Thank you very much. That means you directors, you had something to do with it too. Fiscal services with our controller as well. Thank you, Kim, and everyone. Council, thank you for passing the comprehensive budget. Okay, Tribal Ordinance 2023-07. It was shared with me at the band chiefs meeting. This was going to be withdrawn. So it is withdrawn at this time. TO 2023-07 is withdrawn. We are now in other business, and first of all, we have TR 2023-51. TR 2023-51. Here we go. I handed it out to the band chiefs the other night. Here it is. A tribal resolution of the General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma confirming the appointment of Willis Dethridge to the Gaming Enterprise Board, SNGE. I entertain a motion to that effect. A motion, is there a second? There's a second by Representative Lambert. No discussion? Representative Shaw.
Were there other applications for this position up there? That's a question that's been asked by my band. They want to know if there were other positions and why only two if there were other positions.
To answer your question, there are only 2 seats that are vacant. There were other applications or what we would call resumes that was sent.
Okay.
Okay. And these are the 2 nominees of the principal chief before the council. So there's a motion and a second for Willis Dethridge to be on the SNGE board.
Call for
Representative
question.
Fulbright. Okay, no discussion. Called for question. This is an appointee.
Oh, I had a question before she called for question. I was just reading.
Okay, go ahead,
I
Representative
just
Pittman.
wanted
We
to
will.
give Representative Dethridge an opportunity to share what his background is and what
Okay.
his experience is. in
You would have received his resume, but since you requested it from the council floor, do you have any specific questions? Okay. Do you want to comment to her?
Not necessarily, but I understand. I know the plight that the SNGE board is in right now. I know. I can stand closer to it. I don't know about speaking into it. I know the problems. Just like every other general council representative, I was approached and asked if I would step down as a council representative and see if I could help the SNGE board. I thought about that. I prayed about that. I asked some people about that. And so I've decided, yes, I will try my best. I know that Tallahassee band representatives had some questions. My answer to those questions and those concerns are I'm going to do my very best to get all of the positions up to date to where everybody knows what their responsibilities are at the SNGE. I know there's some situations about the length of time that the interim general manager has been in place. I've got an idea to correct some of that issue. I'll have to visit, if I'm appointed, I will have to visit with the other representatives of the other board members actually, and give them my recommendations. Hopefully, we can get that solved. So that's where I'm at.
Thank you, Representative Dethridge.
Sometimes as the chair of the council, as the principal chief, we receive information as bands do their business, and that's all the band's business, whatever they do at that level. But I will share there was misinformation that was shared in some of the bands. He has never been on the Seminole Nation Gaming Enterprise Board before. He was on the SNGA board. And I want you to know, when we had nearly 22 non-compliance issues at that level, there was greatest cooperation of both SNGE, SNGA, the executive department, because gaming was handed over to us for oversight at that time. And then right after that, we come into significantly in compliance, as they use that terminology, that Representative Dethridge got a national award from being a commissioner for gaming at the national level. So those bands that discussed information that was actually not factual pertaining to Representative Willis Dethridge, I clearing that up now. He has not served on the SNGE board. He served on SNGA. So there it is. And I had to leave the chair to be able to make a statement of that nature. Okay, we're back to the original motion. There's a motion and a second. Any other discussion or comments?
There was a call for question.
Okay. All right, Secretary, call the roll.
Leetta Sampson,
No.
Anthony Conley,
No.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
No.
Terry Edwards,
No.
Ida Gonzalez,
No.
Nancy Fixico,
No.
Leon Petit,
No.
Joseph Billy,
No.
Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
Yes.
Ann Borba,
Yes.
Stephanie Lambert,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
No.
Henson Lena,
No.
David Frank,
No.
Wayne Shaw,
No.
Catherine McCoy,
No.
Charlie Hill,
No.
Tommy Chupko,
No.
Danita Harjo,
No.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton.
Yes.
I have 8 yeses, 17 noes, 0 abstain.
With a count of 8 yes, 17 no, and 0 abstentions, I declare that TR 2023-51 has failed. We are on TR 2023-52. A tribal resolution of the General Council of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma confirming the appointment of Heather Napier to the Gaming Enterprise Board. I entertain a motion to get it on the floor at this time. I entertain a motion. Motion by Representative Fulbright, seconded by Representative Borba. We're in discussion.
Is she here?
Question.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask, is she here?
No, she's not here at the moment.
Yes. And she was employed at the I-40 casino before?
She was.
Yes. And I don't think I should ask the other question, but
Yeah. Well, in Heather's defense, you know, I told her it would be under other business, and sometimes in the length of a council meeting, you don't know that, how long that meeting will go throughout the early morning or the afternoon. So she did offer to be here, and I said it'll be the last item on the agenda if it is placed on the agenda. So partly of why she's probably not here at this very moment is because I said will be the last item on the agenda, and it's 3 minutes till 12. Yes. So we kind of thought it would be in the afternoon, to tell you the truth. Representative McCoy.
Call for question.
Okay. Question? Secretary, call the roll.
Leetta Sampson,
no.
Anthony Conley,
No.
John Narkemy,
Yes.
Rena Tiger,
Yes.
Anastasia Pittman,
No.
Terry Edwards,
No.
Ida Gonzalez,
No.
Nancy Fixico,
No.
Leon Petit,
No.
Joseph Billy, Dolores Harjo, Karen Fulbright,
No.
Ann Borba,
No.
Stephanie Lambert,
Yes.
Sina Yeslith,
Yes.
Lottie Cootie,
No.
Henson Lena,
No.
David Frank,
No.
Tiffany Thunder, Wayne Shaw,
No.
Catherine McCoy,
No.
Charlie Hill,
No.
Tommy Chupko,
Yes.
Danita Harjo,
Yes.
Willis Dethridge,
Yes.
Desiree Emerton.
Yes.
I have 8 yeses, 17 noes, 0 abstain.
With a count of 8 yeses, 17 no, and 0 abstentions, I declare that TR 2023-52 has failed. So I will continue to look for nominations. Now, just because you send a resume doesn't mean you're going to be nominated. You know, I want you to know that's very clear. Some of you had, I would ask you to read the Code of Laws, because she's been inundated with all kinds of questions that if you as a representative actually was familiar with your own codes, you wouldn't have to ask the council secretary 100 times within a week's time, questions that are self-explanatory in the laws and statutes of the Seminole Nation. Representative Shaw.
Well, we're under other business here, and on gaming to boot. A group met with the gaming commissioner, or what do you call them, the board, enterprise board, and there were some questions that came out about our interim, what do you call it, gaming manager up there for all our gaming. And I was hoping that somebody from the board would be here, or somebody would be here from that area, because we asked some questions and they told us they would investigate it and get back to us. All I've heard is I've been cussed and everything else, called all kinds of names because I asked those questions. And I was told the other day we went to meet with them, and
We, the General Counsel of the Seminole Nation, went to meet with them?
no, I met with them. I went up there to meet with them this past Monday they're supposed to have a 1 o'clock meeting. We were there, I say several of us were there at 12:30, and they'd already held their meeting and left. They did a virtual. Do they get mileage from our virtual? Do they get a full pay for virtual? Because COVID's over. And I'm not, and then they're supposedly, general manager is also considered the director of that program. And I think it's kind of a slap in the face of the general counsel that she did not show up and that she's continuing to stay there. And when I took over an interim job working for the state of Oklahoma, I was drawing a certain amount of money. I didn't get that. I went to a bigger job. I didn't get a big pay raise or nothing. I didn't get anything. I stayed at the same. They gave me like $2,000 raise for 2 years. But this one here draws $104,000 a year right now and asking for $8 an hour or more. You know, I beg your pardon. There's something wrong with this picture. We need to do something about it. This is I'm airing out right here in front of everybody here. Do your investigations. I don't care if you don't like me. Work for the people. That's an understatement. I know you don't like me.
Okay, Representative
But
Shaw.
the thing is, work for the people. You're not working for yourself or the chief or any one person. And so we need to understand if you don't like me, regardless, tell me to my face, don't go behind my back.
Representative Shaw.
So there, I'm going to stop right here. You're still the chairman, I agree. But the thing is, right now, there's something wrong with that picture that I just painted for you up there, and we still got the same gaming manager or interim gaming manager that has been there. My personal feeling outside this council is that how long are we going to let an unqualified person run our gaming? Because they've got the qualifications up there so high, they can't hire nobody or they don't meet their standards. So how long are we going to allow this to occur as a general counsel? I know we're not supposed to run day to day, but we can ask our administration to do something about this today. So that's all I got to say. I'll just leave it in y'all's hands from there.
I nominated 2 people to fill those positions, and I believe they would have surely done a work on that.
Exactly.
But let me share with this. I gave respect to you, Representative Shaw, because you're a long tenure council representative. But right now, we set the other business at the beginning of the agenda, where by tribal law it's supposed to be done at, and we're not in other business anymore, okay? Representative Hill, and then that fulfills the agenda for this special call meeting of July 22nd. But Representative Hill, I saw your hand, and then Representative Pittman.
Mr. Chair, I just want some clarification, okay? I understand we're in other business.
Can you turn your microphone on, please? Thank you.
Everybody else seems to hear me, but okay, we're getting old. My clarification would be coming from you, okay? First of all, in reference to the board member for Gaming Enterprise, okay? Yes, you did in fact select 2. I believe there should have been like maybe 4 that had their applications in. Some had their application in before the 2 that were mentioned a while ago where we voted on, okay? However, the clarification I need is, number 1, do we have a closing date to have all the applicants submit their application in for board members? That's number 1 question. Number 2 is the fact that I don't understand why you should pick 2 for board members, thinking maybe it would be approved that they would be put in the position of board members. However, it failed. The way I look at it is when you, as a chief or chairman for the council, you should put all 4 or 5 that have their application in and bring all of those applicants here. We, the council rep, are the ones going to be voting yes or no to have that person or persons to be board members, not you. We're the ones going to vote for them, not you. All you do is point or pick like you did just now, and this is what transpired. So my question is, if we do in fact have our special council meeting on August 12th, whoever submitted their applications, and there should be a deadline, a closing date on it, and bring all the applicants here that our general counsel secretary notified them to be here on August 12th at 10 o'clock in the morning, and so be it. 28 of us should be 28 council rep. We can vote and see who we would like to pick for those two that are open.
Once again, I want to make it very clear, out of the courtesy to this general counsel, you know, someone was saying, well, you're only appointing such and such, the ones that you want to appoint. And somewhere along the line, I said, well, do you have some suggestions, some recommendations? And the office of the chief and the chairman of this council gave that courtesy. But the nomination by tribal law is the principal chief and confirmed by the council. So just know that. I know I've been around here a while too, something like Wayne says, not as long as him, but I've been around. I worked with Wayne too when I was on the tribal council, and many of the others that sat in the stands here today. So the nomination is the prerogative of the principal chief, okay, or the chief, as we know with the constitutional framework, okay. So and confirm. We'll just keep on going until we can get somebody confirmed, okay. We had to do it many other times. I appreciate, though, those that sent in the resumes. I do appreciate it. And I know there was some questions about one particular one. You do not want me to give my reasons, okay? And I don't want to make those things public.
Well, are you going to be just picking two for August 12th or not? No?
I will look for a couple of nominations. Well, we sure do need them, but we got a tight agenda. We got a real tight agenda. If we can have, you know, if I send two nominations in, and we can have it under other business at the end of the meeting, you know, that's possible.
But Chair, we do have four. You think you can put all four of them on there?
I just explained that. I just explained.
But look what happened. You picked two of them. What happened? You still
That
got
happens.
two in the hole.
That happens from time to time.
Okay, then if it says no, then what we do? Coming back September 1st for the next two you
I'm
got
going to adhere to tribal law and what's within that, and not try to circumvent it. Okay. Representative Dettridge.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
He had already recognized me.
Well, you did, but you know, that's the completeness of the agenda. So I sure hope that it's something that, like an announcement that we're all going to lunch or something.
I just wanted to make a recommendation based on some of the concerns that I just heard, to see if the general counsel could request that the AG do an investigation for the gaming, for those commissions. If we hear pay raises are different, people are not present, all these different things, I'd like to have a report. I haven't been here long enough to know what the gaming
I
commission
kind of explained
has
it to
done.
you how budgets go. Sometimes you put somebody at this level, you don't always pay them that much, but then they spend a year with you, you may want to do a bump in the raise. Now, not everybody agrees with that, obviously. So that's okay, but that's not something that's suspicious. It doesn't warrant an investigation by the Attorney General on such a small matter. That's like somebody getting a raise.
No, it was just in general, just to find out what was going on with our commission so that the general counsel knows exactly what we're trying to fix. And it may not be necessary, but I just wanted to.
You want to know the real truth?
Yes.
The real truth is there's certain ones that want control over gaming, totally, so that whoever they put in, they can actually do exactly what they want, whenever they want, how high to jump. I've been here a while, and you should take my word for it as the chief of this tribe.
Yes, sir.
And as the chairman of the general council. So believe you me, there's inner routes into this whole thing. And I don't want to get into this discussion right now. And because you said you were new, that's why I had to share that with you, okay?
Been there, done that.
Okay, motion adjourned. There's no debate on adjournment, and there was a second. We're adjourned at this time.
Bamboozle.